He must have.
That's nasty stuff, but okay. Jokes aside, this Dawnbreaker does have its merits, right? Even though it's not really a super relevant hero at this stage in the meta, the healing coming out from Solar Guardian is gonna be a very good counteractive measure towards the Enigma Black Hole. Or, I mean, you can't heal a doomed target, but still, you kind of get where I'm coming from. When he eventually gets the Aghanim Scepter as well, the evasion forcing the troll to get something like an MKB is gonna be so annoying for Shiro.
I think to a lesser extent as well, it's a BKB cannon, Solar Guardian. Right? You just drop Solar Guardian on top of the black hole. Not only are you healing them to the black hole, but you're killing them as well.
Speaking of killing, TYW, easy first blood, nice cliff ward being set up. And Imitator immediately going to dismantle that vision because, you know, they all know they're good players here. No need to leave that around for a free D-Wardy.
30 seconds to battle.
And he's going to wait. They're going to get as much value out of this Observer Ward as possible.
Yeah, why not, right? I mean, you guys have the level 1's tools, the stuns, the slows. Level 1 on the side of LGD is a tad bit awkward. Sure, you have Shiro whirling axes, but other than that, it doesn't really feel that significant.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Eidolons them? Ooh.
Oh!
Level 1 Eidolons.
Oh,
I'm so scared.
Three undeveloped little purple children gonna like hit me, gonna tickle my armpit and make me laugh a little bit once. Oh my goodness. They're stepping out a bit too close. Actually, speaking of Eidolons, he's level Malefice level 1. That might actually help out once in this laning stage, but uh-oh, Outsider coming in while you smile with the TP. And they answer right back, giving that gold over to Emo. That is the #1 man you don't want to hand that over to.
Yeah. Emo now is going to get a nice and early bottle ahead of this Storm Spirit.
Whoa, what is... look at this aggression.
What is going on here? Some shenanigans.
I mean, shenanigans more like aggression. Imitator and Shen Yu, they were geared up to really try and punish Shiro before he made it to the lane. But why you smile? The reason why this Nature's Prophet is so highly prized. It's just an excellent bodyguard in the lane.
Yeah, and this is... I mean, to a lesser extent, like I talked about the big melee heroes that kind of get up in there. Nature's Prophet's a decent bodyguard because he has Sprout. I think Lion is a decent bodyguard as well, once again, just because of all the disables that he has. I think Sprout's a decent enough bodyguard ability. I think the damage that he outputs as well makes it so that you can't just ignore the Nature's Prophet when you're trading into heroes like the Troll Warlord. If he's plinking away at you, he's doing quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, speaking of quite a bit of damage, they've been able to arrest once down to quite a low HP number. Probably needs either some fairy tangos from his support or maybe ship out a salve or something like that to stand in the lane. I mean, it's just a Malefice level 1.
Probably both.
Yeah, but Neo is just beating into him. This is definitely the lane to watch, I think, because it's not like it's gonna be high action packed, like high skill level kills back and forth, but just seeing how these two picks interact, I feel like it's been a hot minute since we've seen these heroes become be relevant in the meta.
I would go as far to say that support Doom and offlane Enigma still aren't relevant in the meta.
True.
Offlane Doom for sure. Enigma a lot less so. I mean, we still see a little bit of play of the Enigma, but I think that's just because of the hero that he is in Dota.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the Shao 8 special sauce is for this game. And whether they can deal with this anti-mage who's still slated to be a relatively big problem, right? Unless he really runs into the troll in the late game, it feels like the other 4 members of LGD are going to have quite a bit of trouble dealing with him.
Yeah, it's got to be up to Shiro to deal with this anti-mage, and those are big shoes to fill for sure.
I mean, you can't really... You're trying to kill those shoes, but the shoes keep blinking away from you and killing your supporting cast, and you're like, hey, can you stay in place, Emo?
You were half human.
That is...
A little style onto Wymo. Good slight combo. Just kills him off.
And so much for the Storm having an advantage. Talk about on paper this, on paper that. Emo's feeling himself. Argument negated.
Yep. Absolutely, and that just goes to show, right? Like, theory is theory, but practice is, right, 2 different things. Right, like, you can theory craft as much as you want in Dota, but if you get into the game and you start slacking, you start, you know, feeding away a few kills in this mid lane, feeding a few kills, I mean, wherever, all of a sudden it doesn't matter what the theory is.
Yeah, and okay, look at New. Look at New. I've missed this. I know it's disgusting, but I've missed this. Look at this Eidolon shenanigans, and then okay.
That can't happen.
No, okay, low. Emo. Your style too cool. Your swag too different. You gotta watch out. They're gonna kill you, man. He's just. It's clear that he's gone into this second game still feeling the high and the aggression and the razor sharpness that he had while playing that puck. He had an essentially flawless game the previous time, and he doesn't want to drop that ball at all. Already 2 kills, sure, assisted by Why You Smile, but it was very much a 2v2 situation. And oh no, now they're on to Shen Yu as well. LGD in this early landing stage, they are getting everything they want, it feels like.
Yeah, so far so good. Every single one of their cores topping the last hits chart. I mean, to be fair, goal on cores aren't too far behind, right? There's just like 1 or 2 CS between them, but the deaths on Wymo have really put a hampering on his net worth. I mean, it's comparable to the Doom's net worth, and you've got 20 last hits on the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, this is... Look, at least he's keeping up in last hits, right? And the Storm has that natural recovery mechanic. Okay, you know what? I'm done with this lane. I'm done with being solo killed. Stop disrespecting my name. My name is Wymo. I go farm. I'll come out, you know, maybe get a Falcon Blade into Witchblade or something. Kill off your carry. It's vibes. That still is something that's very realistic, right? If he... Okay, well damn. This... Okay, apparently some noise issues here or some sound issues that seem to be resolved. We're checking out the mantelpiece, which is honestly quite beautiful. Shout out to our observer for giving us the lowdown on that one. But meanwhile, real carnage happening. We're trying to enjoy momentary peace. None to be had as Wymo takes a 3rd tumble in the mid lane. He just can't stop. He can't stop killing him.
I mean, why would you, right? True. Like, Storm Spirit is pre-level 6. That's a freebie every single time.
Dude, Why You Smile is playing so well on this Nature's Prophet. He did get hampered earlier on in game number 1, but he's just ping-ponging between mid and safe lane, doing the double duty of essentially winning Emo the lane, continuing winning Emo the lane, as well as still bodyguarding Shiro. It's really impressive to watch, and Wymo still no... Oh, the net. Trying to hold him in place, but the tower, it's a little bit too strong for them at the moment. Here comes Outsider with a dive in as well. TYW, he is still pretty tanky, but it should be enough magic damage to finish him off. They bring 3 members and they at least get 1, but it's not the big man. It's not Emo.
And Emo's level 6, Twymo's just hitting level 5. You have still a window where you can kill this Storm Spirit with the Prophet. If Doom wants to go back to this mid lane, he's going to. He's going to refill the bottle at least.
Yeah. No big deal. Doom's a fast boy. He can come in here and 6-minute mark. He's going to be in the bot side, denying that invisibility rune. Emo can't make it there in time. Nice little disjoint play from Imitator, stunning up that Ember Spirit and gonna deny that action rune. As much as Ember is strong in the early stage of the game, you know, he does really rely on these power runes to get things done. Still remains to be seen whether he's gonna go for something like an Orb of Corrosion to really amp up that early game aggression.
You could. It's not the worst this game when you think about like the Phoenix, the Dawnbreaker. It's not the worst item. I mean, it doesn't feel too good anymore on Ember Spirit, but it's still not bad.
Oh, just dancing around on them at this point. Emo and Why You Smile. I mean, forgive me everybody watching that I'm not like reacting greater to this, but I feel like we've seen this happen 4 or 5 times in a row at this point, and the fact that Go Along are still kind of offering up a basically sacrifice what feels like every 45 seconds.
Don't do it, Wymo.
Yeah, like what like I get you're trying to hit your level 6 before going back. But that could have been so risky because it's clear they have some vision that you don't know about in this area. Why You Smile? Looking for the contest. Oh, I mean, not really the spot they wanted, and he might just pay the price for it. Shen Yu gonna come in once again, killing off his captain, doing a little bit of waving. Bye bye.
Who's next? I've got all day.
I love the little waving in Dota. I'm so glad they added that, just because, like, you got the high fives when your teammate does something good. You got the wave by when you're killing an enemy. It's just such a versatile BM.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't even think it's, like, necessarily always BM, right? Sometimes immediately after you pull off a nice juke or something, and then the last thing they see as you escape is, like, a little, like, blue finger waving. Speaking of blue, flashes of it as Wymo jumps forward straight up onto New. They want to eliminate this Enigma and they'll be successful in doing so. The full commitment from the side of Go Along there to stamp him out in this bot side.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, you've got to get some sort of recovery on the side of Wymo. I mean, Dawnbreaker as well really likes these early pickoffs, these early ganks with the Solar Guardian. It's not the best saving tool early on because it's like solo black holing in the first 15, 20 minutes.
Sure.
It just feels good.
Yeah.
Right? Come 20, 30, 40 minutes when these big team fights start rolling out, that's when you want to start getting those big black holes. But as soon as you get you want to use it.
Yeah, and I think it's especially the case for, oh, I might have to hold that thought, Emo. He's about to go ham yet again. I mean, by go ham, I mean just start running them under the tower once. Actually turning around and starting to burn Emo's mana. He has a wand available, able to jump away, and once, feels like he didn't really respect that coming out from the Ember Spirit. Emo will just turn on them, kill them off, and the full force right now, LGD takes some revenge in the bot side, killing off that safe laner as well as the support.
They've got the level 6 on the Enigma. If AM decides to come back into this lane, it's going to be a big black hole is what he's going to be met with.
You just can't. You just can't. You can't exist here anymore. But
no.
Then it's so awkward, right? Because where do you go? You go top side where the troll's going to chop you up like liver? Like, what's the angle? I mean,
Nope, you go jungle.
Yeah. No real choice here.
I mean, you have the cornucopia, so you can.
Yeah. I mean, net worth-wise, as we're seeing here immediately, once again, it's Shen Yu who has somehow, in a hero that's not really known for flash farming, found himself at the top, right? He's done very well in terms of involving himself in some key pickoffs, helping his team out in key situations. But how is he going to translate that? That's kind of what's most important. They definitely have a lot better tools to play along with him and capitalize on his strength with the Storm, with the Lion. I want to see some action. I want to see some smoke camps. Kill off Emo. Stop him from just running at you freely like this.
I'm going to Wymo instead.
I mean, the Solar Guardian gonna come through, but like you mentioned, not much of a saving tool, especially not in the face of the Doom. Not much you can really do about that situation. They'll try and work down Why You Smile, but he is full mana. The Phoenix is gonna be able to burn him down with the spirits, but Emo's still holding the front lines. You gotta watch your back. You might just blink into a black hole. And I mean, black hole aside, Vlad's completed means that all this damage is just being amped right now from these slides. Speaking of amp damage, grabbing one rune out for Emo makes it there in time.
Radiant structures are fortified.
We have to keep our eye on that one for sure.
Little, nice little rune to help you with the transition there. It was very cool. Thank you, Gaben.
Shout out, Gabe. He's looking out for me. I'm
Yeah.
Gaben. Okay. Jump in, Shiro. We haven't seen this man on our screen for literally 10 minutes. Finger of Death comes out a little bit too late. Still managing to pop out the ultimate. Still has a wand in the back pocket, but don't want to be running into a static Remnant last touch. Imitator will find it, but can they get the punish? Wymo low on mana. Beautiful double stun from Imitator, but oh, here comes Big Bad Ember looking for revenge. Finishing off Wymo. Looking at Imitator outsider. You have an egg, but do you really want to pop it in this situation? No, you'll just dive out of there. That's just about all you can do. It's immediately answered right
And
back.
you still might lose the tower.
I don't know. A bit low on the resources, you know, Emo, not the highest on mana. They'll let it go, but 400 gold exchange. Overall, killing off Shiro is definitely a good look, but considering the fact that he's already basically one component away, and actually, like, what, 300, 400 gold away from his Battle Fury, he is off to a pretty good trajectory as compared to... No, actually, you know what? Let me retract that statement. Even though he's 1k gold ahead of the Anti-Mage, the Battle Fury timings aren't going to be too far off, actually.
No, Once has done a pretty good job. I mean, not keeping up, but doing, making the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah,
right? The lane was not the easiest for the anti-mage. Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
And they're doing a really good job at keeping the pace with these fast farming heroes like the Ember, the Troll, the Enigma, these heroes that can accumulate net worth quite quickly.
Yeah. Chain up. Poor Lion. Getting found out here. Not much to be done there other than give one more over to Emo. Still remaining deathless, by the way. Is he going to go this series entirely deathless? We'll have to wait and see. That's not if Shen Yu can say something about it. Look at that early Desolator on the Dawnbreaker just to amplify the physical damage coming out. Really, it's just her who's doing most of that for this team right now. Still continuing with the smoke. They have a Doom available and would love to find the Anti-Mage. Oh boy.
They're running directly towards him once. He's got to be incredibly careful here.
Oh yeah, that's the counter spell.
under attack.
Already popping it out though. That is not what you wanted. A little bit of fingers, perhaps a bit too fast. And he's gonna pay the price for that. The anti-mage, we were talking about him, you know, still doing a decent job in terms of keeping up. Well, that's gonna slow him down just a bit. Why you smile? They know he's alone here in this mid lane and immediately capitalize. Good move from Go Along to at least get something from that exchange.
More net worth for Wymo is very, very nice, especially after the lane that he had. And once again, I hate to compare apples and oranges, supports and cores, but Doom's net worth is quite comparable to this Storm Spirit. It's only 500 gold between them.
Yeah, it's another game again where we're seeing Wymo just hasn't really had a great go at it, right? Starting from the kills in the early stage of the game. And this was kind of the case for Go Along previously as well. Alongside Once, he was one of those... I mean, Once kind of felt like he had the whole team on his back. Not that he was playing like it, but it felt that way, right? It felt like, oh, we need our carry to come save us, because their lanes would just go so mediocrely, right? You come out of the lanes, even if you win, even if you lose, it's just like, okay, Go Along. They're not really making any crazy moves. You look at Emo, what he's doing as compared to the Storm. Haven't really found much outside of a support kill here or there, and you really need a bit more.
Now, I don't know about you, Sneeze, but I would love to see a black hole come on soon.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point of picking Enigma if you're just gonna literally not black hole?
Right?
Hey, guys, give us sauce. I mean, Emo definitely ate his fair share of hot dogs today. I want to see some new action. You know what I mean? Give me a beautiful two-man right on top of Shen Yu and I guess the lion. I don't know. We still haven't really seen a full-fledged proper egg yet as well. It might be now that he's forced to pop it. It's a beautiful stun to keep him in place. Imitator's been on point with these, but you do have to wonder how effective that is. Wymo coming through to try and defend, and that's going to be enough to peel LGD off. They'll be happy with that tower that they've taken and just retreat to continue their control in this jungle area.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You're going to be playing very scared for a very long time on the side of Go Along. I think LGD are just... I don't want to say too far... Yeah, they're definitely too far ahead right now.
It feels that way, yeah.
They're going to kind of see them, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're going on to your support Doom. They're going to try and work down the egg, but there isn't really anyone who can help Emo kid it at the moment. It's a little bit ambitious to say the least. Had a safety remnant in the back pocket. And when the dust settles, you use like what, 2 to 3 ultimates, and for a support Doom, cool.
Yeah.
Shiro's farming, no one cares. Emo's out of there safe. New is still on a fast trajectory towards his pipe, and once that's online, this push is gonna be fearsome.
And Dawnbreaker, this is a pretty Chad Dawnbreaker build, if I have to say.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of like Blade Mail into Deso, or like once like Echo Saber into Deso. I absolutely love the Deso rush, just because you need to be getting aggressive because your anti-mage won't be ready. Hell, your Storm Spirit isn't ready yet.
Yeah.
And that is not a good look for you.
Yeah, right now it's just a situation where this Dawnbreaker needs to become a threat, right? It's the age-old sort of classic saying that, when you're playing with anti-mage, you're playing 4v5. Now, that hero has definitely evolved past that, proverb, but it's for this particular game, it's gonna take a while to ramp up to the stage where you need him to be at. Once needs just like what feels like 10 to 15 more minutes to even start contributing in fights. Maybe it's an Aghanim Scepter where he just stands from afar and tries to burn their mana.
The X could be an interesting pickup for sure.
Wymo. CP's out of trouble. Not sure whether Emo spotted those trees just being cut down, but they'll just walk straight into the Roach Pit, start that off, and with the Storm Spirit already TPing out of there, there is no contested work from the side of Go Along. They'll have to give this one up for free.
No blink in sight for the Enigma, but they don't really need it, do they?
No,
They're just gonna... The threat of Black Hole is enough, I think.
Oh, this is kind of based new. He was queuing up the pipe, and he pivoted into a Midas instead. So, in a way, capitalizing on the fact that his team is so far ahead while still giving himself that late game insurance. I don't mind it too much.
The pipe is pretty good this game. All right, well, like, what's the early damage coming up from Go Along? Well, it's this magical.
Yeah. And I mean, look at the supports on the side of Go Along. They are so poor. All you're looking at is a Wraith Band on the Lion and a Void
Yikes.
Stone. Okay, no, I'm telling a lie. Outsider actually has a completed Eo Scepter, so that might be pretty useful in terms of disjointing the Enigma black hole if he
Radiant's
finds himself
top
on the
tower
outskirts of
is
that.
under attack.
Smoke up, immediately broken by Imitator. Once again, Solar Guardian coming in straight on top of the egg. But what are you doing to hold them in place? Wymo's gonna try and find someone. It's the support. Gets doomed instead. They finger of death him. They walk into a black hole. That is not what you wanted. Shen Yu is just going to die right in front of his team. And there's nothing he can do about it. Double kill, New. His replacement slamming him into the curb.
Radiant's
Big
middle
old
tower
check
is under
mark when it
attack.
comes down to the first black hole of the game. It took a hot minute for it to come out, but was it not beautiful, Sneeze?
Perfect.
Catching the Storm Spirit, catching the Dawnbreaker, no AM to catch, so you caught all the heroes that you need.
Are
Oh,
fortified.
that was just...
Radiant's
I
middle
can't say
tower is under
undisciplined
attack.
because I understand. Every Dota player who sees that chain of events gets it. You just use X Solar Guardian. You gotta get something. Of course, your Storm, the only person with any sort of juice remaining, has to be the one running forward, but you walk straight into PYW. He's like, yeah, nice hero, bro. Nice, nice regen. Nice literally trying to do anything. Eat this Doom. And it's just curtains from there. Shen Yu, you know, he realizes his Storm's in trouble, tries to get something. There's nothing. You're looking at a barren wasteland of opportunities. You're staring at an Ember with an Aegis. You're staring down an 8k gold lead. And you're looking at potentially going into the lower bracket for the DreamLeague qualifiers right now.
A tool to teach.
It is not looking good for Golong. Now, you know, I was hoping and coping last game. I'm going to hope and cope this game too. And it's all got to come down to this AM. Once he's got some broad shoulders on him, he's going to have to put his
Dire's
team
middle
for
tower
sure.
is under attack.
It does feel that way, but he's got to be so smart about playing the map. That's the problem, right? In a way, you're trying to play the map against an Ember and a Nature's Prophet. You can just imagine if the Prophet gets something like an Orchid and catches you out with your Manta down, you will be in big, big trouble. Now that doesn't seem to be much of their concern for now though. LGD, they're more than happy to continue thundering down these lanes, taking the tier 2s with this Aegis that they've gotten for themselves.
Yeah, they've got no black hole, they've got no doom, so they're not really too pressured to make any sort of moves. But if they find a free kill like this, they'll gladly take it.
Yeah, free is understatement. Walk in, chop him down. Emo is wicked sick. And once again, has yet to die this game. This was a, what, second pick Ember Spirit in the face of a Lion Phoenix. They're like, cool, you got the best, some of the best 2 support heroes of the patch. I'm gonna just pick a mid laner that's just gonna trounce all of you. And that's what Emo has been doing from start to finish.
Is under attack.
Zip in from the storm. It's not going to do anything, and there goes all of your mana. So now you've got to go wait and go back into base, sit back down, and wait for your mana to regen.
Yeah, I mean, Imitator stands up and starts draining their mana. Storm's gonna come through with the heal, but there's a Pervise on Why You Smile, and he is completely fine there. So you lose your Lion, but at the very least you buy time for the Dawnbreaker to be back, and respect shown by LGD. Even though they have that Aegis, they understand that, you know, the one way they sort of lose is by throwing a fight on the high ground. So let's play a bit more disciplined. Still quite a bit of time until the AM becomes relevant or even wants to participate.
But they got what they came for, like 90% of the health on that tower. You are very happy with that 20 minutes in.
Yeah. Prophet can come in and finish that off at any time. Now, we're seeing a similar situation where Shen Yu, he has the Desolator, and he is working towards the shard. Like, he's going to buy that for himself, not wait for the Torment or whatever. I get it. I'm just a little bit worried because I'm once again feeling like Go Along, much like their first game with Wymo, they're not making or juicing the most use out of their gold. They're not juicing the most use out of their heroes as I would have liked. And I think that's kind of where they're falling, you know, falling away in terms of parity with their counterparts here. It feels like LGD, every single item pickup is so well thought out, it blends very well with the rest of the team, helps them further their game plan. And then on the flip side, you see Go Along, they are all kind of just scrambling to have something, it feels like.
And right now, it feels like Go Along, everyone's focused on playing their own game. Where LGD have definitely focused on this team game. The Vlad, the Pipe, the Blink on Doom. Right, all of these little items are going to be able to make sure that they take the best fight possible.
Going to the Doom though, finishing him off. But this is a very different Doom from the new of last game. This is still a support. I think that's something that has to be just consistently reiterated. it's not as significant as it would have been in game number 1. But a kill is a kill. When you're behind like this, 12k, get a tower, why don't you? Once starting to do anti-mage things, and he's gonna have to do them at a greater intensity as the game goes on for Sada go along to Sanction.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one for the AM because if he doesn't have a good showing, that's it. You know that like the rest of your team, I think too far behind. Storm Spirit, his net worth, you know, we were comparing it to the Doom earlier on, but now look at the Nature's Prophet, 10k to Storm's 9.6. It's pretty gross. Like LGD are playing clean, slow, concise Dota. They are slowly burning Go Along down. They're taking every single advantage that they possibly can.
I think it's funnily enough quite refreshing as compared to, because whenever you think slow burn, you know, you're methodically playing clinical, it can be a little bit resident sleeper, right? I think the key example of that was at TI 11 when we were all just sitting there waiting for Tundra to win a game that they won like 25 minutes ago. It doesn't really feel like Go Along are out of the game just yet, but LGD have constructed their draft and constructed their game plan in such a way that it feels like unless you play perfect or unless you're maneuvering the situation expertly and perfectly, there isn't much you're going to be able to do against their lineup. Everything kind of covers for each other, right? You have a black hole in case you're trying to commit in. The initial jump, Emo strong enough to just kind of make that on his own, and if you have some counterplay towards him, suddenly the Doom's going to come out on whoever's walking by. It's just such a mess for them to work through. It feels like one of those impossible, I don't know, captcha puzzles. They got mad once recently, you know. In the past, it's just like, tell me how many Vans there are in this picture. Right now, it's like, oh, can you match this hyper complicated pattern to a color correspondence? I'm like, why do I need to figure out the angle? Like, how are you? You know what I mean? Like, is this a, I guess, unofficial way to make me do manual labor or like paid work? What's going on here?
It is actually.
Feels that way sometimes.
What the next one's gonna be? What color palette fits best in this living room?
Yeah, the next one's
just interior. It's
just interior design. The next one is going to be like balance this bank statement, and it's just like someone asking, like the business owner like providing like you join the company and they're like, oh, one of the benefits is you'll get a second pair of eyes on your financial statements. They didn't say it was a trained pair of eyes. It's literally anybody on the internet, but they just publish your bank statements to them for auditing purposes. That's
Ooh, that sounds great. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that
sounds
exactly like what I want.
Imagine you're trying to log into your Google account and then you're like, okay, first solve this equation. It's like, what the hell? This is what education was for, pork crazy.
Look, Sneeze, I failed math class. I'm not no mather. I don't know how to do no additions or subtraction.
I don't think you need to know math to add up to the fact that LGD are completely outclassing their opponents. You don't even need to be in the class to realize how out of class they are right now. Straight up though, starting the fight already and boom up onto anti-mage. That was a very weird end to the pause there. It kind of felt like they had so much time to look at the situation and just kill him off, and now 49 seconds without your anti-mage. This feels like, I won't even say the beginning of the end. This feels like we're nearing the end already, right? Wymo, he's still kind of sitting at a point where he doesn't feel relevant in this game. We've yet to see some crazy Storm Spirit plays in the team fights, and really, it's not something, I don't even know what he does here. In comes Emo, popping the BKB, just wanting to eliminate Indicator. No more cheeky mana drains for you. And why you smile, the position 5 prophet, he feels so confident that he just TPs in past at tier 3. This is looking great fresh.
Yeah, I think this is more of a situation where the beginning was the end.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad to say that, but Wymo, I don't think he even had a chance there. Just gets knocked down. And Go Along, you know, like you mentioned, coming through the open qualifiers, it's a tall task, especially up against the rest of the Chinese opposition. A scene that's very intimately familiar with each other for sure, but you know, you're playing up against LGD. These guys, there's a reason why they did perform so well at TI, and it's showing here. When they look good, it's nothing crazy about flashy plays, crazy moves, but when you put a player like Emo in your roster, you kind of like any sort of skill disparity in the mid lane, he's just gonna flex on you super hard, and that's exactly what has happened.
Yeah, there's something like refreshing about seeing this kind of Dota, right? This clean, concise Dota where Ember Spirit is making every single correct move. Plus, on top of that, you've got the big flashy ultimates like Black Hole, the exciting ones like the Doom as well. There's a lot to look forward to in this LGD game, and that's exactly what we've been given a treat here with this LGD game for sure.
I'm just wondering whether we'll see more than one Black Hole, because we've seen one already. Will Neil cast it again before the game ends? Who knows?
That's good. Maybe one's on the Ancient.
Maybe, okay, maybe we're writing it off too soon, because at the end of the day, the one thing that the LGD are lacking a little bit is tower push. They really just have to rely on Shiro for that. And if Shiro doesn't feel comfortable to move forward and get that done, they ain't getting anything. One lane of Rex isn't the end of the world. Anti-mages have come back from worse than that before. How much more can you wait? Why more? Oh, sneaks right past them. He doesn't even know that they're there too. I mean, and now he'll know if he's Data Force to give up his life for the cause, and straight into Roche they go.
But a little roar here in a second, let the other team know that he's being taken. If they weren't sure before, they're definitely sure now. And we're going to see, for the first time in a hot minute, at least for me, we're seeing a cheese.
Wow!
I know. I literally think like every single one of my games I've been seeing Roshan banner.
Do you just not like eat cheese in your regular daily life? Like, is that not a component of your meals? Or
I haven't seen cheese in years.
Like you just put it in you just consume it, but you're not looking at it ever actively.
Yeah. I close my eyes every time I cut cheese. It makes for a lot of cuts on my fingers, but
just gotta. It's a principle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right now, killing off Shen Yu, but this is a pretty decent team fight. I say that, but New with a beautiful Black Hole right on top of that egg, and this is the issue that we were talking about from the get-go. The Phoenix is supposed to present this team fight problem, but the Black Hole starts and ends way before that even happens. Speaking of starting and ending, Shiro completely melts both position 1 and position 2 in one fell swoop. You buy back on the Storm Spirit just to clear the wave, but your whole team just gets wiped out. That, I mean, these fights have just become increasingly unceremonious with the way go along and conducting them. It kind of feels like they're just falling flat on their face.
Yeah, go along. They've seemed disconjointed throughout this entire game. Not quite so the entire series, but look, I don't want to harp back onto it, but things have really gone downhill for them as a team since that denial of the Aegis.
No, it's not even harping. I think that's everybody who has watched this series in its entirety probably you point to that moment. Especially Shen Yu, you can kind of tell when someone is feeling themselves and then something happens to kind of dampen that confidence. That really felt like what it was there, right? Ever since that Aegis denied, suddenly a couple of fights didn't work out his way. He wasn't being quite as daring or quite as aggressive with those swoop storms. And realistically, you can't even blame him, because if he does, he just gives away his life for free with how far ahead LGD were. It's kind of a similar situation in this case, where even though he's done well to carve himself out advantage, at this point, if he jumps in, he's just gonna feed, to put it simply.
And it's hard on Dawnbreaker, right? Because you've got this ultimate that, like the other day I had someone tell me, just cancel your Dawnbreaker ultimate. I'm like, dude, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Like once you full commit on Dawnbreaker, you have to stay in. There's no way you're getting out after you sold. So you just have to go in, hope for the best.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward thing as well, because if you're Solar Guardianing in, it's implied that you're trying to save a more valuable core. And if you just decide upon landing, like, I'm just gonna try and pretend and hope that nobody saw me come down flying, crashing in from the sky, stunning everybody, and I'm just gonna quietly walk that way. You guys just kill him, leave me alone. Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. It's a very big distraction. That's what it's intended for. Now, go along untapping out this yet, and I respect that, but it might come a bit sooner than later. Once doesn't really feel like he's able to actually contest in a 5v5 fight, and that's what LGD are setting up for with this push. Here they go, jumping forward, Emo the chains again, committing the BKB. They want to eliminate the line to start things off. Heard of Doom, and he connects successfully onto the AM. He's gonna have to just sit out in base as he watches his support die in front of him. Where is everybody else? Storm is at the top side. Everybody else on LGD has converged. They are working towards the Megas in the mid lane. They're going to grab it. It's a buyback from the Lion though. Not sure what this is about. Maybe hoping to punish them for their overstaying their welcome, but I don't think they're going anywhere.
Shiro, no mana, no problem. He does not care if he has mana or not. He's got that Aegis to back him up. That's all that he needs.
Start punching onto this melee Rags, like you mentioned. 1.5 minutes still on there. Once, hello.
Radiant's bottom
Walks up to the troll, almost loses his life in one fell swoop, and that's Megas. Shiro's just done it. That's the wave. He's done it, but he's not done just yet. Feeling confident enough to just go for this tower. 1 minute left on that Aegis, that's plenty of time. Let's try burning him down here.
You're just gonna stand there and tank it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still has a BKB in the back pocket too. You gotta watch out for Emo and his Galactic Wave and just hold you in place. Once again, LGD. Discipline of paramount importance. They imagine Xiaowei coming into the room and flicking them all on the forehead with his maximum force and the cowering a little bit.
Grab him by the ear, you know, like, hey.
It seems like you can't listen to instruction. Just drag that earlobe to the ground and make them say, I'm sorry coach, I'm listening. Sorry coach, my face is clean.
Yeah. I mean, LGD, I mean, Xiaowei, he's got to be proud of this performance from LGD. It's, you know, they're not against the toughest team on the side of Golong, but still, the clean Dota is clean Dota.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what team you're playing against. You can recognize good Dota when you see it.
To a certain extent, I think even playing against what you perceive to be weaker opponents, that's where a lot of the times the discipline falls apart, because you think you're so far ahead, and they're still doing a good job at remaining respectful of their opponents. Outsider, forced to pop that egg, burning away onto Why You Smile, who's committed very deep in TV. I mean, hell, this Nature's Prophet literally has an AC completer. So, yeah, that's kind of the state of the game that we're in right now, and we're also in the state of the game where they don't even care that the Prophet has died. He can just buy back, join back the fight, provide his aura. It's not really a big deal.
No, and they don't care about this AM illusion either. It's annoying, sure, but other than that, they don't care.
No real-world impact playing anti-mage.
No.
That's the issue.
No, I mean, that's been the story, I think, for once this entire series.
Yeah, the thing is, I wouldn't even just pinpoint it on him alone. I would say that's go along the entire series. It feels like they're picking these heroes. They have some ideas. We were talking it up as well. We're saying, okay, Dawnbreaker now has some partners, the Storm, the Lion. They can get things done, and then they proceeded to get nothing done.
Yeah, because Storm didn't have a game.
Yeah.
Hell, even when Storm Spirit got his Orchid, his courier died with the Orchid on it.
Oh my
so
God,
it
I must have
delayed
missed
the
that.
timing even further.
Oh, that's so silly. I mean, you want that as like a first item, and then you rush down the troll and keep him sort of bounded down and stop his progression. But I mean, when the Prophet net worth eclipses yours by 3,000, you know something's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, even getting close to this Dawnbreaker now on the side of Nature's Prophet, Why You Smile has been farming up a storm.
Yeah, this
Literally, farming up, like up ahead of the storm.
Yeah. He's gonna be farming up to the sun as well at this point. Once he
Yeah.
eclipses-
But don't go
too.
too close to the sun,
Yeah.
little Icarus. Not too close.
I mean, so far it hasn't really been a problem for them. They've killed this egg a couple of times. Outsider. It's proved relatively ineffective in these team fights like we were mentioning. The black hole just starts and ends before that ultimate even comes into play. Within that period of time, it's more than enough for them to just work down Wymo and 1-2. Both are pretty squishy in their own right.
Yeah, he's got no survivability items on the side of Once right now. Hell, on the side of Golong, no one really has any survivability items outside of this Dawnbreaker BKB.
I don't know if you count a Yules on Outsider as a survivability item, but
A little. Like, kind of, but like, I wouldn't, personally.
How... Okay, so there are two ways this could shake down. Either LGD play disciplined, clean, Tundra as Dota, and they slowly continue to do what they're doing. Carve out different sections of the map, and the second someone breaches those containment zones, just fire away, force them into submission, break their spirit, right? Or do they just run it down in a attempt to sort of get this over and done with and go along somehow find a comeback situation? What do you think?
I mean, you got to make Xiaowei proud, right? You got to continue to play this clean Dota. You got to make sure that there's nothing that he can go back to and point out, like, hey, you did this wrong. Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. No hot pot for you this weekend.
Yeah, you got to keep Coach proud.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who the coach is for Go Along, but I can't imagine he's very proud of that, as Once just gets completely obliterated, shows his face, immediate buys back. Lacking a bit of mana on some of the members of LGD, that could be an opening. But still waiting for the Storm to show what he can do here. Black hole in the back pocket of Liu. He's just waiting to pop it out. Doesn't even seem like we're gonna get a second one. Outsider, straight up into the sky, has the egg available, can't even pop it, has a buyback. Watch out for this team fight. Go along. Might still have a chance here. Might still have a last breath. A dying gasp to try and bring LGD down with them. Try and pull out a miracle straight on into Why You Smile, but he's already so tanky. The Storm doesn't stand a chance. He just gets wrecked. And the egg is just an afterthought. It pops, but who even cares? Who even cares? GG is called, one taps out, and really, LGD just completely destroy their opponents here. It's not even close.
Yeah, this was not even close, this game number 2. Game number 1, I mean, I don't even want to say that one was a little closer, because it didn't feel that close either. Maybe for the first 10 minutes, but this one was LGD the entire time.
Yeah, that was...